welcome. We're trying something very, very different here. I've had this game in my Steam library for God knows how long. Things just appear in my library. I am a humble bundler, and often, ba-boom, there's something in there that looks kind of interesting. And I was looking through it the other day, and I saw this. This is called Roadwarden. Roadwarden. I have never played it before. I have no idea what to expect from it. Let me be a little bit more professional here and look at the store page. Roadwarden, according to the Steam page, is an illustrated text-based RPG that uses isometric pixel art and combines mechanics borrowed from RPGs, visual novels, adventure games, and interactive fiction. It has overwhelmingly positive overall reviews. Yeah, it's a little bit different for the channel, but I thought, like, hey, I'll see how long my voice can last. and hopefully not every single voice ends up being a strange old man. We marvel at the serenity of the forest and crave the shroud of its silence. Enter. Welcome to Roadwarden's anniversary patch. Oh, it improves a few stories and bits of interface, but sadly it won't work well with the old saves. Not a problem, because we are newbies. I recommend starting your playthrough from the beginning. We will. The newly available advanced difficulty. You can skip the opening. We do not want to skip the opening. Thank you so much for giving this game a chance. You are very welcome, Mr. Orius. I'm hearing nothing. Is there supposed to be sound? What's going on here? Hold on a second. Let me figure what's going on. Oh, yes, it was all on my end. It is fixed. You should have been able to hear everything. I didn't notice this. The basic where you can have pixel font. There is something very delicious about this, but I think that might be difficult for you guys to read. So I'm going to turn that off. Let's try a new game. Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Roadwardens not only accept the struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, pardon me, and if possible, get rid of the beasts and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectable one. And it pays well. Oh, hell yes. I used to be a huge lover of the choose your own adventure books, where you would like be reading through the book and it says like, if you want to jump off the cliff, go to page 26, and if you want to, I don't know, throw your friend off the cliff, go to page 1. Used to love that thing. You should never throw your friends off the cliff. It's a dangerous job, but a respectful one, and it pays well. You know what? We're an experienced road warden. That's what I'm gonna say. We leave the safety of the city walls. We don't have any doubts. We know what we are. We know what we came here to do, and it's apparently burn human corpses. Pick a difficulty mode. Switch to advanced option. Casual. Focus on the story. There's no time limit. For those familiar, for those who are returning, we're going to go with the regular rule set standard for this, because I have no idea what to expect. But I'm oddly excited for this style of game. There's probably going to be a lot of reading for this one. So if it's not your cup of tea, I completely respect and understand it. There's a lot of other stuff on the channel that you can check out that's a little bit more me screaming and making bad mistakes. But we're gonna sit back and I will do my best to read through everything. The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place you're looking for. You were supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away the goblins and pebblers, but not beast folk nor trolls, and the night is near. Your palfrey breathes heavily. It had a long day. I'm guessing palfrey is going to be like an animal or something that is carrying our burdens. I could just look for another shelter. I need to look around cautiously. I dismount and sneak to the gate. Let's peek inside. I get off the horse and enter the camp briskly. We're definitely not going to just go in there all willy-nilly. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. That's good signs. Okay. It's what we're looking for, so we don't want to leave and find a new place. We're professionals here. We're supposed to meet people. We're not meeting things. It's not safe. But there's no blood or anything, so I think it's kind of okay. I don't think we need to dismount, sneak. I think we just look around cautiously. Considering the noise, you doubt that anyone noticed the clatter of hooves. The short, dry grasses barely cover the arid soil of this valley, but you're maybe a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods, which gets denser as they climb up the hills. At best, this trail has a few more years before getting overgrown for good. Hard to believe it's the only route north. I could just look for another shelter. I dismount, sneak to the gate, let's peek inside. I get off the horse and enter the camp briskly. Okay. Let's peek inside. Take care of yourself. If you're hurt or exhausted, some actions will be available to you. The weaker you are, the higher the chance you'll die in combat. Whoa. So we got hurt? Your heavy boots hit the ground and the pain of the long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out, bringing your back and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. I approach the gate slowly. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space. The fire pit is cold. 2 people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice the quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song coming from the city harbor. I could just look for another shelter. This guy really does not want to be here. This feels like a tutorial telling me you should just go to another shelter. You're going to die, good sir. They don't look like much of a threat. They got cups, they're singing, they're having a good time. The fire pit is cold is a little concerning. It might be like people came in here and raided it, maybe. It's open, they've raided, they've killed everybody, they've looted it. It's been abandoned for a long time. That's why the fire pit is cold, but they don't look like much of a threat. I can enter. It takes them a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. I take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gambeson, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven, as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are weary yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sent here half a year ago, these 2 surely look the part, though there should be more of them. 8, you believe. Something definitely happened here. Either these people, like the group that were supposed to meet, maybe abandoned this fort, and these people are just looters, but they seem friendly. Or maybe they ate them. You know? Cannibalism, it happens. 8 were supposed to be there. I let them speak first. If I start talking about, hey, where's your lieutenant? They're going to be like, oh yeah, so the lieutenant just said, yes, he's taking a shower out back. You should go check on him. Let them speak first. What is this guy going to sound like? Am I actually going to try? Well, you know what? Let's try and do some voices as we go. But the odds of me maintaining this is quite slim. So you don't get any expectations to hear me. Well, it's nice to see an unarmed traveler in this godforsaken shithole. Makes me just a tiny bit hopeful. The bearded man's voice is strong yet timid. You'll be staying the night with us, I guess. I don't know. Is that a strong yet timid voice? We're soldiers, he and I, adds the armored woman. Her voice switches from half asleep to relaxed. We'll do our best to keep the camp safe. But if you were to take the first watch, it would be a huge help. Travelers ought to help each other, wouldn't you say? You think for a moment. To fully rest, you need a good sleep. Nah, I think we need to show our mantle here. And I don't trust sleeping with these people around. I still don't know who they are. Fantastic. She rubs her hands together. I don't remember the last time I had more than half a night's of sleep. The hours before midnight should be the calmest. Just, wake us up if anything happens. The man flashes you a wide smile. It's easy to wake us up, just yell. He drinks from his mug. I ask them about their lieutenant. You wonder how to phrase your question, pardon me? Whenever you meet new people, you can influence how they perceive you by selecting one of the attitudes. Friendly, supportive, and cordial. Playful, use a joke or a witty comment. Hide your emotions. Hint at a threat. or be sad, tired, afraid, or hopeless. Very interesting. Okay. Okay, let's think. These people are tired, they're weary, but they have been joking around a little bit. So we could be playful. But I'm still kind of feeling we want to be distant. We don't want to play our cards too openly right now. There's no need to intimidate right now. Absolutely not. And we don't want to appear vulnerable. I think we just hide our emotions for now. Wait to see what happens. Oh, can we see what will be said? Oh, I was hoping to meet your lieutenant. Can we talk for a bit? I'm sure you're busy, so if you could just introduce me to your lieutenant. I'd rather speak with someone who's not going to waste my time. I've had a long journey. I'm looking for you, lieutenant. The woman stands up, dusts off her gambeson, adjusts the sword at her side, and rests her hand on the hilt. Her shoulders are straight, her eyes are attentive. That'd be me, traveler. Are you in trouble? I'm fine. I'm your new Roadwarden. Oh, I took you for a wayfarer, to be honest. When you mention that, your mount is waiting outside. She raises an eyebrow. Shouldn't you unsaddle it? I bet it's tired. She glances at the gate, then at her companion. Her voice drops the slightest sign of weariness. I expect you're looking for directions. I'll help you as much as I can. She reaches out to you. Lieutenant Tulia. I shake her hand and introduce. It may be a trap. I gesture for her to stop pretending to be embarrassed. I should wash myself first, but you can call me. I don't shake her hand. We are playing like the distance, but we're gonna go professional. I shake her hand. How do you want people to call you? Oh, I'm stout, worthy. Her grasp is confident. The shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tents, okay? She steps away. We don't need to smell its dung. That's shut. We don't need to smell it shut. There's this one issue. The soldier in the shirt also rises to his feet. There's another soldier? I thought there was only two of them. Wait a minute. Who's this? We've got no tent to spare. You have to use the blanket or something. I don't know who that is. That's his voice. No problem. I enjoy observing the stars. I should get used to sleeping on the ground anyway. You know what? This character is Reginald. Now, many people don't know much about the history of Reginald, but he is a hardened, stubborn old man who is, ouch, I just kicked my desk, who is, who has a lot of fervor in his character, but he does long for glory and grandeur. So he does enjoy observing the stars. That's true. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You can get in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragon Woods from the conquests in the south. They can trot. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your palfrey needs you to survive, but without it, you too would be lost. Oh, I love a story about two companions bonding together with mutual respect and necessity. It's my only companion here. I want it to feel at ease. I don't care how it feels, but I need it to be strong if I wanted to travel, and I can't afford another one. It's my only companion. This is more Reginald Stoutworthy, to be honest. He would be like, it's a mule, it's an animal, and it carries my burdens. But how do we? Are we playing this the way I would play it, or the way the character? I think we need it to be strong. We need it strong, and we can't afford more. But it'll be interesting if the story can change his mind. Maybe down the road he will become heartened to the needs of the mule. It keeps watching its surroundings, ignoring your approach. You clear your throat and reach over the reins, and only then the beast responds with a stomp of its leg. Humans see useful animals and even pets as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. Very interesting. I lead it to the camp. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back, just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish it had something better to eat than this shabby grass. You should look for an inn. I need to unpack. I guess screw that in looking. You haven't brought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Like, did they just slip that in there? The Crimson Corpse Eaters? Is it Isabella Capet? Worst of all, you have no rope left, but maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon's bone. Really? For a rope? You gotta trade a dragon bone? Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions essential for your trade. There's classes. I thought this was just going to be like a story. I spent my savings on decent combat equipment. I have a fine gambus and an axe made of steel. A reliable crossbow with quiver. I have talismans that help to use my powers, as well as an iron axe and a worn gambeson. I carry writing instruments and alchemy. Very cool, but I think I'm going to go fighter. Reginald Stoutworthy has always been a go-to guy who runs in there, preferably with his fists, and knocks some sense into the competition. Especially those who disgruntledly dismiss his nobility. Should I learn more about them? No, we're gonna just go fighter. Let's do it. We have inventory. Taking hits will damage your armor. You can then fix it at various levels. So this is like temp HP. Okay, you unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't... Okay, this is gonna block. Let's do this first. Inventory. Unless you're occupied with another task, you can eat food, drink potions, and use your items from this menu. Be sure to click on each new item you receive, as some of them can have unusual applications. They consist of dry meat, crackers, and seed fruits, which spoil slowly and don't require additional cooking. So there is spoilage. The city artisan makes coins by cutting dragon bones into slices. Okay, so dragon bones is how the currency is made. They are valued by merchants, though rarely used in the countryside. I know we've only started this game, and I honestly know nothing about it, but for some reason, I don't know if it's like the soundtrack in the background, or the way they are introducing concepts, assuming as if you already know it, but you don't. It's giving me a very intrigued feeling about this story, the world that's building. I'm really liking it. They're valued by merchants, though rarely used in the countryside. A gambeson. It's the cheapest type of armor, yet very effective. The travel set, useful tools. We have a crafted battle axe. It shows you've learned how to fight humans and human-sized monsters. Okay, a weapon made of steel is valuable. It seems like that's maybe a rare thing. And we got a crossbow. It says 3. I guess we have 3 bolts. It can pierce most scales and armor. I wonder if I need to know this stuff. Like, if we're fighting an enemy and it mentions he has scales, we gotta use the crossbow, so we should be saving it. Archive. Okay. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. The spare clothes are still here. Just in case, you take a look at your wooden bowl and mug, your cape, tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing special or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. I wonder if all that is because we actually did that, and it's telling you, like, you need to keep this routine so you avoid those silly little mistakes. I return to the soldiers. They're at the table again, observing your beast and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them, eating out of wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at a previously unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. I join them and take a look at the meal. I thank them for the meal, but I don't want to eat with them. I sit down and ask Tulia what she can tell me about this area. I completely ignore the meal. I sit down and speak to Tulia. I'm still not fully trusting of these guys. The whole cold campfire is bothering me. It's still bothering me. However, these people seemed... You know what? I did initiate the lieutenant talk. I came in and said, like, I'm looking for your lieutenant. And then the person was like, oh, well, it happens to be me. I'm Tulia. I don't trust him yet. And I don't know how this game is, if it's like that, that detailed where you have to be really careful of people. They're at the table again, observing your beast. You know what? I'm going to ignore the meal. I'm going to ignore the meal. I didn't see them cook it. We still don't know what happened. This gate was wide open, and as it said at the beginning, it can be a danger for the larger beasts, right? It said like trolls or whatever like that. Having the gate open is a danger. And these people just leave it open willy-nilly, and they're supposed to be soldiers. I'm pretty sure they're looters. I'm gonna guess they're looters. And this is probably an abandoned camp. I completely ignore the meal. I sit down and speak with Tulia. Keeping your stomach full will make you stronger. Starvation won't allow you to restore vitality while resting. Ooh, okay. She focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can't tell you less than I would like to, and less than I should. She nods towards the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead, 1 has run away in tears. We're also...
Hey, we also be strangers in this land, huh?
That's her companion. I'm starting to trust them more because she knew there were 8. We specifically were looking for 8. We've not mentioned that yet, to my knowledge. So I wish I ate the food. Okay, oh, I gotta have a voice for Mr. Stoutworthy as well. He's old. Any piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward. His legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. Is this the same guy from before? Which man is this? I can't even remember the voices.
Hey, what did the officials tell you? I expect not too much no soul governs these lands, huh?
I share what I consider to be relevant or what I've discussed with the officials should stay between me and them. We're professionals. We're professionals.
Now you listen here. What I'll discuss with the officials should stay between me and them. You bastard, get out of here.
You think how unprepared you are for this task, since this area is too far away from Hovlaven to keep it under control. You were warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. It's a place of both danger and opportunity. A great realm to spend the rest of the summer. That's the attitude I'm looking for. Actually, I'd prefer to keep it that way, says Julia. The less you tell us, the smaller the chance that the commanders will send us here again. There's bitterness in her brief laughter. I'm fine with a soldier's life, you know. I just hope to find an outpost where I won't have to bid farewell to most people I know.
Well, I guess that's pretty understandable.
The lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? Oh my god. I need to ask them about the peninsula, the Roadwarden, and the rope. Anything I should know about this game? What should I know about the peninsula? Any ideas what happened to the previous Roadwarden? I've lost my rope. What happened to your squad? I think we want to go right into the... We don't fully trust this person yet. We want the details. So what happened to your squad? The man shrugs.
Hey, those bandits happened and the monster. A strong band, though.
His companion chips in.
When we got to the peninsula in that there spring, we saw some people living in this camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and go on and look for an inn, where we had to travel through the night for a bit.
The bearded soldier scoffs and crosses his arms, but she carries on. She? Bearded? Wait. But she carries on.
Well, if he had decided otherwise, we would all have died that day. The innkeeper explained that the camp is a trap, that the armed ones pretend to be soldiers, stay there at night, lose everything you have.
Okay. So she's got a very strong voice.
Well, it sounds like slave hunters.
Julia sighs.
Very much so. They killed some and took others away. Who knows where? They were letting the northerners go, hoping to avoid their wrath.
Hey, it kinda worked,
adds the soldier.
We asked them for help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own, and that's where 3 of them people died.
Who's speaking that she looks at?
Don't exaggerate. It's not like the lieutenant didn't make a mistake. He wanted to get rid of them and take over the camp, but we didn't know our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage among them. She looks at you. At least we cleared the road. Saved lives.
Well, you mentioned monsters as well? What the hell is he, what are we doing here? Damn it.
Nothing that would surprise you. Those of us who survived the skirmish were young, too inexperienced to spend a summer in this place without a good leader, and they didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a treant. Another one ignored my orders to perform some sort of ritual hunt, so a werebear tore her to pieces. The last one tried to act tough, didn't tell us that she had to cut his hand, that he had cut his hand while cleaning his gambeson. She lets out a ghastly chuckle. We had to cut it off, and she was so ashamed that he decided to walk north, find a new life, disappear.
Idiot. What a colorful journey.
The man tries to drink from his mug, but it's empty. I stay silent. We're not here to flatter these people. We're here to get a job done. Tulia seems defeated. Are we going to tire her out by asking too many questions? What should I know about the peninsula?
I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, says Lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city on a decent palfrey? I'd guess it would be 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues.
Well, when you confirm, she continues.
From here, you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get here?
You nod. The sea route allows Hovleven officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools, but maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins.
Well, it's probably because of the rocks, right? You can only stop a ship 5 miles from the shore, and the boats can't get much closer, you see.
She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk.
As she pauses, her companion carries on.
No soul from the north ever came to the camp, but when we tried the roadside inn, Pelt of the North, they're happy to trade and to play some nice and dice. They like to play dice and fold. You can watch some of dice and fold on Stoutworthy's channel right there. You go and take a look. Well, why not just stay in one of the settlements then?
Holy sh! The man clears his throat.
I mean, you know, where to guard this here road, this camp is our post, and we'll...
He turns towards Tulia. She lowers her voice.
Don't take it the wrong way, Stoutworthy, but are you a devout soul?
Everyone's like a girl, and they all got manly voices, but we're rolling with it. Like most city folk, I believe that people should unite their strength to overcome the threats of nature and dark magic.
Everyone will be judged for both the good and evil deeds. I am a part of the United Church.
For many years, I've supported a monastery that does its best to advance mankind's spiritual growth, artistry, herbalism, and magical research. I follow the teachings of an order of truth. I'm from a small village. For me, the freedom of shell, pneuma, and soul are the main virtues of life. My community is unique and independent and so as its members. I have a place in my fellowship. I have a strong connection to nature and spirits and follow the path of my ancestors. Some of my beliefs may be considered sinister and treacherous by the city folk. You'd probably call me a pagan. There's no evidence of the right's existence, and all the mystical tales are explained by magic. No, I'm not. Oh, this is interesting. We're character building on the fly. I have a place in my fellowship. I think with the Stoutworthy lineage, there is a small family of Stoutworthys in the land. We know of a few: Bertrude, Charles, Reginald, Ignatius. That's all of the recorded ones that we currently have in our repertoire. However, it follows the lore that he's from a small village. Yes, I have a place in my fellowship.
Oh, I'll see.
She hesitates. She hesitantly looks away. I've already forgot what voice I've used for her. I'm just going to stop doing some of the voices. I don't know how much about the River of Faith, but I'm sure we're not that different. I'm a Unite myself, she says with a sort of pride in her voice. So she follows the United Church.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Maybe just explain what you were thinking of. We're gonna stay kind of sharp with these people. The people here are disquieting. Every few words, she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with officials here. Here, she starts to draw lines with her index finger as if she's pointing at an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads, like a big circle in the northwest. You'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think. It even has a priest who claims to be an eremite like yourself.
They do crazy shit.
Her companion chips in.
They use the dead to cut down them trees and dig in the soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there.
I see. You've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy their river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. I wonder if we can be the bad guys. Were you able to speak with these necromancers? And how about the East? Any monsters worth mentioning? Anything that could catch my mount? That's all I need to know. You know what? We need to know about our survivability right now, and the horse seems to be crucial to our survival. We saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts to count on his fingers. Goblins, treants, cats, large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, molfen eaters, griffins. But we managed to stay away. Is this the Witcher? Some could catch up with most mounts. Tulia glances at her companion. Though a palfrey should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting among themselves. They fight more for food than territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast. Just count on luck. I wonder if I should be writing things down. Knowing that, where is it? Where did it say? The coast and mountains, the flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. Were you able to speak with any of these necromancers? You can see why we were not eager to go there if we could avoid it, the lieutenant chuckles. Maybe they'll be more welcoming to a Roadwarden. The roads are dangerous. With little to no shelters, people need your help. The man in the shirt turns a bit and points a finger to the northwest. If you're headed to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first, and soon. Tulia nods. Pelt to the north is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeep or the guards. Ask them about the road. Pelt to the north. Okay. How about the east? She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell. We went there only once. There are hills, forests, rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. That's all I need to know. What happened to the previous one? Tulia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. The soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirm that he had stopped by their camp at a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife. Without looking at you, I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on that wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave at dawn. Unlike us, Asterion never gets bored. Tulia lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. So Asterion was the name of the previous Roadwarden, but he's just gone. They don't know what happened to him. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in a basement, the man carves with passion. We haven't seen him or his saurian. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer Roadwardens often use four-legged, meat-eating saurians as their mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatchling, but unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from many monsters. On the other hand, they enjoy attacking nearby targets a bit too much. Do you know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message. Neither one of us had any insight into his dealings, said Tulia. My predecessor left me no clues. We also took a look at Asterion's stuff. Wait! She raises her open palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Hovleven.
I was planning to take all his things there. A pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions, quite a treasure. She glances at you, but I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. We've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We are meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us. Tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Hoblivin together. You think about your real mission. You were planning to return to Hoblivin in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all of his possessions. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'd begrudge you anything. And who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear mostly, maybe 5 feet tall, but stout, long, red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing. She sits down and stretches out her legs. So find out what happened to him. Dead, alive, left, just let me know. Use your journal to see quests. Can we look at this at any time? Awesome. New note. Oh, we can do notes. You need to confirm a note you're editing. Oh my goodness gracious. Bestiary. Groups and places. We've learned about Hoblivin. Humans. We know Asterion. The previous Roadwarden. Okay, I'm so happy they're adding a lot of this stuff to us. Quests. Find the Roadwarden. Before I became the Roadwarden, a man named Asterion used to patrol these roads. If I managed to find what happened to him, I could get his stuff. There are notes. New note. What'd they say? Flying creatures stick to the coast and mountains. Dangerous to our boy. Confirm. I lost my rope. Can you spare one? You're in luck. She heads towards one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits down on a chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. I take a closer look. Oh, look at that. A fine rope, a regular rope made of hemp fibers. I take it and offer some food in return. We're gonna need all the food. We'll take it. Anything I should know about this camp? The story is brief. Some merchants built the camp to have an extra stop for mules and donkeys. Just between the inn and the southern villages, there's plenty of grass here and a pond nearby. When the peninsula grew more dangerous, the camp stood abandoned, from time to time serving as a shelter for travelers. The bandits came here in spring, further paralyzing the exchange of information between the northern and southern settlements. Since these highwaymen are no more, the situation may reverse. Time will tell. You can sleep here wherever you want, the man concludes their tale. Though don't expect to wake up without pain in your back. How did you become lieutenant? That's not much of a story, honestly. She looks at her hand, which is currently rolling a mug over the table. In the city, there's a strict order of, what should I call it? She exchanges looks with her companion, but he can't help her. Well, leadership succession, I guess. Hoblivin chief selects commanders, those select lieutenants, and those put the soldiers in order of priority. If a lieutenant dies, they get replaced by the next soldier in line. So you were the successor. Well, not exactly. When we fought the bandits, our lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend jumped to help him, but failed to protect either of them from a spell. It was like a ball of ice that hung above them and exploded, piercing their heads, completely avoiding their shield. Really unpleasant. She pauses. And you were the third one in line, right? Jumping like that to save a man in the middle of an attack doesn't sound like a wise decision. Well, if it was the boyfriend, you know, people do stupid things for love. Basically, yeah, she says without enthusiasm. I didn't plan to become a leader, though. I'll get demoted once we return to the city. I prefer to follow anyway. What was your squad's mission? You know, the usual. Making the road safe, keeping people alive. This is very suspicious. She looks into our eyes. You know, the usual. Something weird about this person. I explained that it may be important for me to know what they have tried to accomplish. I can't really tell you. You sense no hesitation. Do you have any other questions? She doesn't trust me enough to tell me about her squad's mission. Oh, okay. If you were me, where would you go next? The soldier answers quickly. To the inn, of course. He grabs the empty mug. To the northwest from here. If you can't afford the room, the main hall is free of charge.
The locals rarely gather there. The northern road is much more traveled, mentions Julia. But the hunters will tell you about this and that, and you'll have a chance to introduce yourself. The innkeeper can listen and knows many souls. Any tips on how I can make a good first impression? Avoid cheap jokes. Stick to trade. Don't waste his time. Show him that you can be relied on. Okay. Edit. Impress the innkeep by getting to the point and being reliable. We need to remember that in case I don't play this again for a couple days. It's getting late. We should prepare for the night. I agree. Tulia sighs with relief, and may you do better than Asterion did. Stay vigilant. She winks at you, shattering the mask of a soldier. Thank you for your help. Stay tidy to have a better chance to influence others. We're dirty. You won't get much cleaner without a proper bath. Go to the barrel and splash water on your face, which makes you get even more aware of how much you need a bath. After the night, it will get only worse. Your horse is already napping, still too anxious to lay down. I prepare for my watch. Can we get that meal? It's cold, but we can still eat it, right? The soldier in the shirt is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around, though they won't try to jump over the palisade, probably. Better watch out for the apes. They climb up and carry out any food they can find. And there's this one really loud were-elk that keeps smelling the wall, though it has never tried to get in. I want that one to be my friend. He points at a gate. The lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes here looking for shelter, better call us to help you out. And if this someone is being chased by wolves or anything, better throw them the rope instead. He scratches his head. If it gets cold, feel free to make a fire, and the best place is on the watchtower. You may want to put a blanket there or something. Hold on. I'm going full depth into this game. If anyone's looking for shelter, call to help out. All right, new note. Looking for shelter? Call lieutenant. If they are running from wolves, throw the rope. The watchtower. He gives you a long puzzled look. Oh, here, he points at the pile of crates. Just climb up to the tallest one. You'll have a great view. He snickers. But you know you won't be able to spot any movement under the southern part of the palisade. Maybe the real danger comes from the north. You put your blanket on the tallest crate and sit down. The night is warm, but the sporadic summer breeze brings gentle refreshment from time to time. Your back aches, and you have to force yourself to keep your eyes open. The light of the moon helps you focus on the tall grasses. For most of the time, you spot smaller critters and birds, but there are exceptions. At one point, you see 3-horned deer trying to challenge one another. Before they clash their antlers, a 2-legged dragonling appears, leading its much smaller offspring. The furry beasts try to intimidate their predators with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides walk away slowly, not willing to risk the fight, nor to admit their defeat. I don't let it distract me. I keep looking around. I'm actually going to have to call this one here. We're about 40 minutes in. This has been a little first look at it. It's highly narrative, but there's a lot of interesting things going on here. It's got overwhelming reviews. So if this has tickled your fancy, feel free to check it out on Steam. Or I'm not really sure if it's on any other stores, to be honest. Look, I'm an amateur here. Okay, I'm still trying to get things going. All right, I don't know what I'm doing. I can feel myself playing this anyways, so I may go ahead and just record some. But if you like this kind of style and you want to kind of see where the story goes, leave a like. But only if you enjoy it. I want this to be as genuine as possible. So until the next one, enjoy whatever it is you enjoy doing, and we'll see you later. Cha-cha.
That's shut. We don't need to smell it shut.